Thursday Night Tailgate, where the spotlight is always on the positive. Tune in Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time to hear your favorite NFL legends, players, and coaches sharing their stories. Now back to Chris and Bob.
I wouldn't joke about anything else that happens here tonight.
All right, now back with us here on Thursday Night Tailgate is former Miami Dolphins left tackle and TNT guest Hall of Famer Richmond Webb. Let me give you a little background on Richmond. He is from Dallas, Texas, played his college ball at Texas A&amp, where he was named All-Southwestern Conference in 1989. He was also a team captain that season and winner of the Aggie Hart Award. He was a part of two Southwestern Conference championship teams in 1986 and 87. Our first-round draft pick, 9th overall selection by the Miami Dolphins in 1990. Played left tackle in the NFL from 1990 to 2002 for the Dolphins and the Bengals. Set a Miami Dolphins record with 118 consecutive starts as an offensive lineman, folks. To give you a frame of reference, that means he didn't miss a start for 7 1/3 seasons. He was selected to 7 consecutive Pro Bowls from 1990 to 96, named AFC Rookie of the Year in 1990, and also to the NFL's All-Decade Team 90s. Was inducted into the Dolphins Hall of Honor in 2006. Is a member of our Guest Hall of Fame, and we are very honored he is back with us again tonight here on Thursday Night Tailgate. Hey, Richmond, Chris, and Bob here. Thanks for coming back on the show.
Hey, Chris, Bob, how y'all doing? And I guess before we get started, let me tell Bob happy birthday. So
I appreciate you joining us, man. This is a we love you, and it's an honor to spend the night before with you, man. How you been?
I've been doing good. Been doing good. No complaints. It's always great to come on the show with you guys. So I always have fun as well. So thanks for having me back on again.
We appreciate you very much, Richmond. So, Richmond, I want to start our time with you tonight by getting your thoughts on the Dolphins quarterback situation. Were you surprised when they traded Tannehill away and then brought in Ryan Fitzpatrick in his place?
I'm not going to say I wasn't surprised because the talk had been happening for a while. That was one of the questions, but I think I was a little surprised by Fitzpatrick, but I think that's a short-term solution. So I think what they're doing is providing a safety net that in the event that they can't find what they want in the draft this year, it gives them another year to possibly, look at someone in free agency or maybe the next group of guys that's coming out at quarterback to try to solidify that position. So, but I think he's a decent short-term solution. So, I think we're making the move. I don't think one thing I do like about it, it's not like they're getting caught up in the hype and saying, "Oh, we got to go get this guy, that guy." They're really, I guess, putting some thought behind it and strategically trying to fix some things. So, I like the direction we're headed so far.
Do you think this means that they're going to have to draft a quarterback in the first or second round? Or do you think they're going to show some patience if the right guy isn't there this year, they're going to hold out and wait till next year?
I think they're definitely, me personally, I think they're looking, but if it's not the guy that they like this year, I think they're saying, we don't find a guy this year that possibly could draft someone next year. So, I know Kyler Murray, everybody's expecting him to go to Arizona, and I believe it's Haskins, a kid from Ohio State. I know he's I think on a lot of people's radar. So if once they go through the interview process, I think teams kind of look at what they did on the field, how they played in pressure situations against the level of competition. But I think also what's important is when they come in and get interviewed by the GM and the owners and stuff like that. And if you don't pass that test, then possibly if it's nobody they're just really, really crazy about this year, I could see them waiting and possibly trying to go after somebody next year.
5 questions for Richmond?
Richmond, I want to go back to your rookie year. We've talked in the past how you were a coveted first-round draft pick, and here the Dolphins take you, and of course they have a future Hall of Fame quarterback and the franchise and the legendary Shula. How was that time between you got drafted in the training camp? I mean, what were they telling you at the time, Richmond, about you starting, about you getting in the system, about things you had to improve on? Talk about those few months before being drafted in the first training camp.
Yeah, I think the thing you have mini camp in May and then training camp started in July. And we had a little period, I think it was in June, where I was down there for a few weeks. And I think the biggest adjustment I had to make was coming from Texas A&M. We were kind of a run-heavy, run-dominant team. And we did pass the ball, but not a lot. And the adjustment I had to make was going from a 3-point stance up to a 2-point because, Marino, that was his thing. They threw the football down there. So, worked on that with my coach Sandusky. And then I think the other key was that when me and Sims were drafted, the 2 starters were veterans that were holding out. So, they made an emphasis on getting us signed early, getting us into camp, and we got a ton of reps during training camp, during the preseason. And I think that was, definitely what helped us prepare to be ready to start on opening day that our rookie year, because it was unheard of to start, 2 rookies on the blind side of the quarterback. That we had gotten so many reps and stuff that I think Coach Shula knew, that if we're going to have these guys play, they need to get a ton of reps. So, that was definitely key as far as my development, getting ready for, my rookie season.
And as far as Shula's concerned, Richmond, how would you classify him as a coach? Was he more of a disciplinarian, a teacher? I mean, what got this guy to the Hall of Fame?
Well, I think he was, I think he's a little bit of it all. I know he was a disciplinarian. I know he was, the mental aspect or the mental side of the game. He didn't want you, go out there making mental errors, penalties. All those little things could add up to maybe stop drives or take points off the board. So that was stressed. And then I think when I came in, we had veterans like Marino, Duper, Clayton. So he had a core group of guys that, this is the way we do it. And so you kind of just fall in line and follow the leaders, and they kind of set the standard for the rest of the guys. And when you see guys like that and how they work and this and that, you don't want to be the weak link. You want to match their level of play. And I think that's what it was. It was established way before I got there. You just kind of, you just fall in line. And if you're going to be there, you got to do it this way. If not, you're not going to be there long. So, he was definitely a little bit of all those things.
Richmond, I was curious to get, your daily routine when you were playing. So, practice during the week and then game day on Sunday. When you woke up Sunday morning, what was the routine like then, and what was the routine like during the week?
I'm going to say Sunday morning, normally, since we were East Coast, most of the games were played at 1 o'clock. So pregame meal was, like 4 hours before the game. So that would be at 9 o'clock. And then, you would be dismissed. And I would get to the stadium. We had to be there 2 hours before, but I'd try to get there between 10:30, 11, get dressed, get tape, go out on the field, walk, check my shoes, stuff like that, come back in, maybe, getting ready to put the pads on, stuff like that. And then, a few minutes before you go out and get ready to play the game. Mondays was a day that we would come in, I think around 1 o'clock. And normally you're a little sore and stuff, so you come in, you get a little light lift just to kind of work the soreness out. And then you have meetings around 2 o'clock, and then you're out there by 4 o'clock. Tuesday was an off day. Wednesday morning, I'd probably get there about 7:30. Meetings would start at 9, get me a lift in. And then you install the game plan for the next opponent on Monday. So we'd have a team meeting, then we break off in individual meetings with, position coaches. And once you do that, you kind of go over the game plan, the blocking schemes, how we're going to do this and that. And then you start watching film, lunch, go practice. And then after practice, come back in, watch some more film. Thursday was similar. Friday was just a taper off. We work on the 2-minute drill. Light practice, mainly in like shorts and helmets, and then cover some situations, 2-minute drill, goal lines, coming out of the red zone, whatever. So situational. And then either Saturday you have meetings, walk through, or you get ready to travel to the city you're going to play. So that was kind of the routine, during the week.
And Richmond, on game days, throughout the course of your career, were you nervous on game day? Did that fade away at some point, or was that just something that was constant?
It never fades away. You always kind of have the little butterflies. I think that's just part of it. If you're not nervous or a little anticipating on, getting the game started, I always had it. So, I think the biggest thing is that's just something you go through, but knowing your assignments and being prepared and doing the film study during the week so that, you could be prepared as possible. I think that once you made, the first couple contact on the plays, you kind of settle down and then you get back into your routine. But, I think I can't remember a game where I didn't kind of have the little butterflies, and that was in college and stuff as well. So I think that was part of the routine as well for me.
Bob, one more for Richmond before we let him go.
And I'll just piggyback on what Chris said, Richmond, as far as what you did in the off season. I mean, what would you be doing around the first day of spring in the off season each year?
Well, typically, I think in about my third year, that's when the NFL started like an off-season workout program. So that ran for like 3 or 4 months, I guess about 14 weeks. And we would always get started in March. Normally the Super Bowl was in early February, and then I'm going to say mid-March or whatever, we would get together and we would work out 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And, you work on getting stronger, just staying on top of your conditioning and stuff. So we did that. It kind of almost became like a year-round job, but it just kept you in condition in better shape. And that's kind of what the off season was like. So that kind of started in '92 and carried throughout the rest of the end of my career. So I think that's the norm now. That even guys now, it's big on like training and off season training and the nutrition and stuff, the conditioning, what you put in your body and stuff like that. So that was basically it.
Richmond, one more before we let you go, and just got to get your thoughts on your alma mater, Texas A&M. Had a good season last year, finished 9-4 in Jimbo Fisher's first season as head coach. What are your expectations for 2019?
I think we had the number 3 or 4. I think it was top 3 as far as recruiting classes. So if we can continue to recruit like that and bring in those top recruiting classes, I think we'll have a chance to compete to win the SEC West. Maybe not this year, but another year or two, I think we'll be there, and then possibly to get into the college football playoffs. And then once you get in there, anything can happen. But we're in the SEC West, and we got schools like Auburn, Alabama, and LSU to compete with year in, year out. So as long as we can recruit and continue to bring in guys like that, I really like the direction that the program is going. So I think we're heading in the right direction, and I'm looking forward in a few years, and possibly have an opportunity to try to compete for SEC championship. And it would be nice if we get that accomplished.
Richmond, before we let you go, remind our listeners how they can stay up to date with what you're doing on social media.
Hey, on social media, I'm on Facebook, and then I'm also on Twitter and Richmond Webb on both of them. So not hard to find. But those are the 2 social media outlets that I use, Facebook and Twitter. So Richmond Webb on both of those.
Well, Richmond, we have so much respect for you, and we have really enjoyed all the times that we get to have you as part of the show. Thanks for coming back and being with us again tonight. We hope you'll come back again and join us real soon. You're fantastic.
No problem. Hey, thanks, guys. Y'all have a great evening.
Thank you, Richmond.
Thanks, Richmond. All the best to you and your family. Take care. That is the great Richmond Webb, and as Bob stated at the top of the show, how that man is not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame continues to haunt us, let alone him, because Bob, there wasn't a better tackle in football during the 1990s than Richmond Webb. He certainly should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
My blood's boiling just talking to him, Chris, and I always feel that way after I talk to him. But how many times do you remember a guy like Marino taking a beating? Not much, right?
Yeah.
That's Richmond Webb, my friends.
Yes, it is. All right, we've got our next guest, Tony Collins, hanging on the line. Going to get to Tony on the other side of this real quick station break.